Do you know how XLAs improve service performance? Hello and welcome to the last in this series of Freshworks videos on Unified IT Service Management. This video covers experience management, the use of experience metrics and targets, commonly called XLAs, and how these capabilities will help your IT organisation and other business functions improve their overall service delivery and support. For example, you might have heard the quote, SLAs measure speed, XLAs measure impact. Importantly, we're not going to be overly focused on the theory of what experience management is. Instead, we'll look at how to make XLAs work, including that XLAs are not a replacement for SLAs. Instead, they should complement your SLAs. Let's start with a little scene setting. Here's an important statement I've used for at least the last decade. IT support isn't technology support, it's people support, which I think underscores the importance of experience management. It recognises that technology is a business and employee enabler, and that technology alone adds little value. Instead, it needs to be employed to deliver better business operations and outcomes that drive value. This is how experience management differs from traditional IT or business support measurement. For example, when measuring IT service desk performance, reporting the number of tickets closed per month might seem important. However, it isn't necessarily a good measure of how well the IT service desk is performing from a business perspective. Not only can the number of handled tickets and related changes be viewed from two perspectives, an increase might be due to the IT service desk success or to the rise in failure rates in IT services. There's also no guarantee that a closed ticket means that an employee is productive again, or that they were happy with the IT support experience. An easy way to think of this is that SLA are concerned with the mechanics of service, such as speed and availability, while XLAs are concerned with the meaning or outcomes of service, such as value, friction removed, and productivity enabled. A key question here is, how is your IT organisation viewed by the people it serves? It wouldn't be alone if your organisation's employees or end users have a lower perception of IT's performance than what SLA reporting shows. It's an experience gap caused by the IT organisation, or any other corporate service provider for that matter, measuring what it thinks is important rather than what the people it serves thinks. Customer satisfaction questionnaires don't highlight this gap because, as with most other service provider metrics, this feedback mechanism is likely to measure operational aspects of service delivery rather than the service recipient's perspective. Thankfully, most IT organisations now appreciate the need to measure experiences and outcomes rather than simply operational efficiency. Plus, it's important not to maintain or even worsen the experience gap between what IT measures and considers success and what end users think. However, service providers need to appreciate that the traditional performance measures or metrics they've likely employed for the last 2 decades aren't designed to measure experiences. Something else is required. This is where XLAs come to the fore. The elevator pitch for XLAs is that corporate service providers such as IT need a better understanding of how their services affect employees and business operations and outcomes. In particular, whether they help or hinder employee productivity and where they cause avoidable friction. Where an XLA can be considered a formalised commitment between a service provider and its customers that defines, measures and manages the experience outcomes that matter most, such as ease of use, satisfaction, sentiment, productivity and emotional impact. They're a modern evolution of traditional SLAs that, instead of measuring success solely on operational metrics, such as uptime or ticket response times, focus on the quality of the experience and outcomes. So, for example, in IT, a traditional customer satisfaction or CSAT questionnaire, while collecting end-user feedback, is unlikely to offer experience-based insights despite being considered the quality-based balance to operational IT service metrics such as average handling time and cost per ticket. This is because your CSAT score likely doesn't reflect what employees feel about the services and support they receive, especially if you've only asked questions about the mechanics of IT support operations. A good example of how XLAs differ from operational measures is the act of visiting a restaurant for a meal, which also highlights the limitations of CSAT questionnaires. So imagine the restaurant's customer satisfaction survey. It might ask, was it easy to reserve a table? Was it easy to find the restaurant? Were the restaurant staff friendly? Were your meals as expected? Were you correctly charged? And the customer answers yes to all these seemingly sensible questions. It looks great in terms of the CSAT score, but will the customer return? Sadly, the answer could still easily be no. Why? Because the CSAT survey doesn't ask enough about the experience and the customer's expectations beyond the mechanics of running an efficient restaurant. Again, an experience-related metric or XLA target such as return intention for the restaurant doesn't need to replace existing SLA targets, but should complement them. However, it's vital to appreciate that SLA success without experience success is operational debt that eventually slows or damages the business. XLAs are pertinent to all service providers. If you watched the first video in this series, I stated that your IT service desk might have fast ticket closure times, but even with this rapid incident remediation, slow device performance will still lead to a poor end-user performance. It's a great example of how IT support or other business function support teams can be hitting agreed targets, but still delivering poor experiences that adversely affect employee productivity and business operations and outcomes. Another good example is that your IT service desk password reset efficiency might meet all the related SLA targets. However, employees still lose 15 minutes every Monday morning due to a slow login process. IT only sees the green SLA targets, while employees feel the pain of the lost time and productivity. It's a very real experience gap. A single system rarely causes a poor experience. Slow devices, performance degradation, poor knowledge quality, and misrouted tickets might all converge to harm employee productivity. Hence, only fixing symptoms within a single domain will not improve the experience. It's only by unifying ITSM, ITOM, and ITAM signals that your teams can see the full experience chain. Ultimately, XLAs work better when service, asset and operations data are unified, with experience improvement dependent on visibility of the full service change. Because as with problem management, fixing a symptom might not be the same as addressing the root cause and its business impact. When considering how XLAs will benefit your organisation, XLAs should be considered in the wider context of experience management and improvement. This includes shifting the server provider focus from process compliance to people outcomes, reducing employee frustration, friction and perhaps even repeated contact, improving employee perceptions of the internal service provider, preventing unnecessary tickets and rework by identifying poor experiences upstream, highlighting the true employee pain points, revealing early warning signals that enable teams to fix systemic issues before they impact productivity, prioritising what matters most to employees for improvement, helping eliminate unnecessary steps, approvals or outdated processes. And instead of meeting the SLA and stopping there, your teams can evolve operations based on real human feedback. XLAs can also be tied into AI readiness. First, to identify the areas where AI adoption will make the most difference. Second, to give AI systems high-quality context, enabling more accurate predictions, routing and automation. And third, to demonstrate how well AI capabilities perform during and after implementation. AI systems will struggle to succeed when they cannot detect friction or sentiment. Experience data gives your AI the human context it typically lacks, enabling more accurate routing, better prioritization, and far more relevant recommendations. Service and support related experience has become increasingly important over the last decade. Quite simply, employees and customers expect more, and the use of traditional SLAs, which usually focus on operational efficiency, is likely to miss what service recipients deem most important. XLAs work better when service, asset and operations data are unified, with experience improvement often dependent on visibility into the full service chain. This includes measuring end-user experiences across multiple touchpoints, such as the devices used, the apps that enable work, the supporting network, and the IT service desk that's contacted when something goes wrong. This is why unified service management is essential to understanding and improving experience via XLAs that help refocus service providers on what matters most to service recipients, offering meaningful data points that highlight where services hinder rather than help. There are many benefits to be realised through the use of XLAs and experience management, in particular in driving service provider improvements in the right places. If you only remember one thing from this video, hopefully it's that XLAs complement SLAs rather than replace them. allowing your IT organisation and other business functions to better understand how their performance is viewed by and affects employees and customers. Thank you for watching the last video in this Freshworks Unified IT Service Management series. More ITSM and Unified IT Service Management content will be made available in the future. Subscribe to the Fresh Service YouTube channel to be alerted when it's available. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.